So some of you may know, most of you may not, Rena is actually in New Zealand at the moment, working on a few projects, got a few things coming out. Everything's kind of very exciting. So do you want to maybe start with letting everyone know kind of what you've got happening at the moment?
Yeah, I'll back up a bit, because the last 3.5 4 years, I've been doing an American TV series called Siren that shot in Vancouver. And I started working on that in 2016, right through to end of 2019. So I really haven't had a lot of time in LA. Really only get to kind of go back to LA during our breaks. 2019 was a really full-on year because we did Siren season 2, and then I came to Tasmania to do a mini series, which FYI is going to be on Stars in America real soon, 21st of March. Yeah, so finally people in America can see it. And then I went back to Vancouver to do Siren season 3, and then had Christmas in LA. I came down to New Zealand for 6 weeks for summer, and went back in February, and the schedule was going to be, I do a reoccurring role on Seth MacFarlane's show, The Orville. So I was coming back to LA to do two episodes on season 3. Then I was going to come down here April, May to do the Fina Cooper movie, and then go back to Vancouver to do Siren season 4. However, COVID happened. And so I was literally had just started pre-production on The Orville, and then it was like I was supposed to go to the studio on the Monday, and I got the email on the Sunday saying, "Don't come in, we're shutting down." And so I was there in LA, and I kind of thought, well, okay, I'm finally going to get a bit of a break, because I'd been on a back-to-back roller coaster. So I kind of couch potatoed. And, in hindsight, if I'd known it was going to go on and on and on and on, I would have dealt with that backlog of taxes. I would have pulled everything out of my closet and got rid of, junk. And I would have done all of that. But I think that was the challenging thing, is we just were all in the state of limbo, and just, are we going back to work tomorrow? Are we, and this just went on and on and on. And the Siren still didn't get cancelled, but obviously I didn't get to do The Orville. And then the Fina Cooper movie finally got a start date, and they needed me to travel down in July. And I had to get clearance from the studio for Siren, which is freeform under Disney. They had to clear me in order to travel, to leave LA and go and work on another project. Because this is the thing, when you become a series regular as an actor, they pretty much own you, and they have jurisdiction over everything you do, including in your hiatuses. So they made the New Zealand production company buy an extra insurance policy to guarantee that I would be back in LA by September 28th. And then I got on the plane. And this is one thing I should tell people, especially if you're thinking about traveling. I thought, well, I'm going to go, have a few hours out at the airport, go into the business class lounge, make the most of my business class ticket, and kick back, do some phone calls, do some emails. LAX was dead. Nobody was at LAX. Nothing, nada, nothing. The only thing that was open was Book Soup and one little Starbucks, and that was it. So don't go out to LAX early if you're catching flights, because there's just nothing open. And I did my 2 weeks in quarantine. To me, it's not a hardship. You're in a nice hotel for 2 weeks, and you just get to be a bed potato. And then I got out and had just started to go to work on the Fina movie, and we got shut down. Oh. So this movie, literally, we shot it over a period of 6 months, because we were in and out of lockdown, or in and out of levels, different levels. And it's actually quite a miracle that we even got the film made. Some things had to be compromised, because I play older Fina. I play the 80-year-old Fina who led the Land March, and a lot of those scenes got compromised because, you could only, due to the levels, you could only have a certain amount of people. So we couldn't have hundreds and hundreds of extras. We could only have 50 per level. And so a lot of those scenes got really compromised. And then Disney reported a $3.4 billion loss in September. And then the next day our show got cancelled. You know, which was really disappointing because we really enjoy working with each other. It's a great cast and crew. But the blessing of it was I would have had to have pulled out of FINA if Siren had gone to season 4.
Right.
So I got to stay here and work on FINA, which we finished in late November. I think it's going to be a really, I just last week got to see the first trailer. This trailer will premiere in Berlin next week at the European Film Market. And I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a pretty special New Zealand film. It's powerful material. She's a powerful subject. I'm kind of, and so while I was here, I did another TV job, Vegas. There's a lot happening here in New Zealand. There's a TV show called Vegas, which is set in Rotorua. For anyone from Rotorua, it's Rota Vegas. It's a gang TV series. I play the mother that's kind of anti-gangs. And then I had 1 week up home in the Bay of Islands where I come for Christmas. And then straight back down to start rehearsals. I'm doing the stage play for Auckland Theatre Company. And, Orville wanted me back in November, and it was quite difficult because they said they would spend $35,000 to fly me back for one day just to get my scenes done. But it's like, can't do it, because to come back you have to do the 2 weeks quarantine, and at that stage there was a waiting list. So I'm kind of hoping I can still get to do the Orville. They had asked last week if I could be there for the month of May, but they want me vaccinated. So I don't know how we're going to get around that. But anyway, I've talked a lot. You guys should ask some questions.